L.
Recording in progress, Inger. Hello, everyone. Again, thank you so much for joining this closing remarks. As you see on your screen, this was a wonderful conference theme that we put everything together. But I also would like to remember our moderators who volunteered for the last 3 days. We couldn't have done anything without their help, so we appreciate all our moderators' help. Our keynote speaker, Vice Chancellor Dr. Tina Vasconcelos, and all participants, thank you so much for making this conference a success. And here we are, the end of day 3, and we are closing this session, and probably we'll take a break, but we will still continue brainstorming what to do next year. We got wonderful feedback from you about what to include in the 4th Global Peralta Online Equity Conference next year. So we will certainly, this team will, after taking a break, we will certainly start working on next year's schedule and conference. So I know my colleagues will have things to say, but I would like to thank you all for joining, and all presenters, wonderful sessions, thought-provoking ideas, amazing resources, a lot to explore, a lot to think about, a lot to discuss more. But before I end my speech, I just would like to remind you that one of the goals of this conference is to create this or build this global community for Peralta Online Equity initiative. So hopefully we will have this team, this community in the future. And I know this is the 3rd year we're here, and I already feel like we have that community here. So that's wonderful. And so because of you, thank you so much. Now I'm going to pass the microphone to my colleagues.
Well, continuing with the thank yous, I want to make sure that we officially thank our sponsors, Anthology and the Graduate College of Education from San Francisco State University. Not only contributed ideas, but they contributed financially, and that supports the Peralta Equity Initiative, which often is done on a volunteer basis, like this conference. So I'd like to also thank my colleagues, my co-conspirators, the people who get into good trouble with me. And so again, this year was nice to have a larger team, and the number of people who supported us with the moderator tasks and other functions was really, it was very nice. We still have work to do, as Didem mentioned, even before we get to year 4 of the conference, we still have to wrap up year 3. And so we'll be looking for help to check the captions for the videos and make sure that we have all the resources that people shared during their sessions up in some sort of virtual library for the whole world to explore and share. But yes, the gratitude is overwhelming, and I want to just say thanks to all of my colleagues here, but also all of you participants, whether you're watching live or virtually, if you're watching the recording. We appreciate your dedication to student success, fostering equity, and I'll hand over the mic to my other colleagues.
Gratitude all the way around. I also wanted to especially thank the presenters today who took time to create amazing presentation slides and cohesive, thoughtful stories to tell. They're really fabulous. And as I was watching a lot of them today and yesterday and the day before, I was thinking, you know, 5 years ago, we didn't have this community. 5 years ago, there weren't Rubio. 5 years, people were talking about diversity, but weren't actually doing a lot of things. And our keynote speaker 2 years ago, Siri Brown, made a really big point in her keynote of saying, equity isn't something you talk about, equity is something you do. And that we have to do it every day, and we have to improve our own skills. And so thank you for all the presenters for sharing such amazing knowledge and expertise and experiences with us. And I am super excited about next year. Check with me tomorrow morning and I might say, oh, I'm not quite ready to talk about next year, but I am. And I also realize that one of the things people have said in the past is we need to continue to build community. And so I think Kevin and Didem, and now Anita and Jeanette, one of the things we need to make a commitment is to bring this community into the coordination and organization of our conference. And one of the people on the Padlet said, couldn't we create some sort of a journal? I'd be really happy to help with that. Couldn't we put some of this expertise into a journal to share with people outside? So there is lots of ways. It just takes time, but I'm super excited about the future. So I'll kick it to Anita and Jeanette if you want to say anything in closing.
I'll just say a few words. This is absolutely my favorite conference, and I told Kevin that, and then I begged him to let me help with the planning committee, and I haven't regretted it for a minute. And it was so much fun to see Jeanette, because Jeanette and I knew each other from a past life.
That's right.
So this has been a real joy. The quality of the presentations for the last 3 days are just over the moon. I have been so excited so many times that I need to go get a margarita. No, I'm sorry, that is on the recording, isn't it? Thank you all for a wonderful 3 days, participants and moderators and facilitators for sure. Jeanette, it's yours.
Well, I don't want to be the last one to be talking, but I just can't even believe that I got to be part of this. It's been overwhelming for me every day, every session I went to, just sitting in, I've learned so much. And I've learned so much from the 4 of you as well. And I just thank you for letting me be a part of it. And I am so excited for next year because I did come kind of late to the game. So I got a lot of ideas. So hopefully you guys will be able to take me as I have it as I come. But yeah, thank you for everyone. And thank you for letting me be part of this. It was so inspirational. I just want to spread the word, because I think the other piece of this, which I find is really important, is that because it's all volunteer, or because it's no cost, the equity piece is really important. And I just feel like the more that people know about it also, the more they can come. And that there's a lot of talk about how so many people are not able to attend conferences. And so having this online and having it available to whoever wants to come and learn, I think is a really important piece that I want to support.
And to your point about spreading the word, I heard in 2 different sessions over the last 3 days, I heard about this at a workshop in Hawaii. Or I heard about this at an institution in my state. And so the fact that this conference is just something that people talk about it in other places in the world is a sign that we're onto something. And I'd like to maybe see if anyone in the participant group, that we have several people here today, want to share anything about their experience, something that they're taking away from the conference, something that they wish they'd seen, anything that you want to share, either via the chat if you wish, or via the voice, or even turn on your camera and let us know what you're thinking.
So thank you very much, everyone. Again, I really, truly have enjoyed all of the sessions that I could attend to the capacity. And I really appreciate, especially your time and commitment, the facilitators and team members. It takes so much time to organize and host and invite and plan. So truly appreciate all the efforts in all 3 years. So you guys are trailblazers, remember that. So and you have inspired so many folks all along the way. I remember when we were developing OEI rubric in 2014, I was part of that to make that rubric. And then we had faculty from Peralta join later on, and then we included the other section for OEI rubric from Peralta. So you have done such a marvelous, and I always refer Peralta rubric everywhere. And I also mentioned about this conference, but yes, thank you so much. I really enjoyed all 3 days. So much, the lived experiences that people try to share. That was really nice to hear all the perspectives and insights. So I'm taking lots of notes. It's really hard to grasp all these ideas and okay, how will I improve my courses, how what new things I can do it for my students. Every single time I'm looking something different, and I have truly enjoyed. Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dipali. That's kind words. Anybody else? I liked the idea for the benefit of those watching the recording. Dr. Ocampo said, it would be awesome if in the program there were little videos or snippets so that we could get a sense of the workshop presentations. And so I suggested maybe we ask presenters to create little trailers. That would be a way to introduce their topics. In the way we asked the poster session presenters to pre-record something, we could do that with all of the presenters. That's a great idea. Keep the ideas coming. I'm going to put that in the Padlet board so we don't forget.
We can ask Dr. Noah to host a session on how to use clips or they can go back and look at that because that was fantastic. I really learned a lot from that workshop.
The accessibility one done by the faculty at the instructional designers at Barstow was amazing too. It went really fast, but I'm literally going to open my Canvas shell, and they actually did the demonstration in their Canvas course. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that seems manageable, because a lot of this work for everybody, it's really time, intensive to redesign courses. And so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That the clips one that she did was like, oh my gosh, that we did a whole thing during that 50 minutes. I was like, I could do this. That's great.
And I see a question in Padlet. When will the day one recordings be made available? As soon as possible, I want to say. Actually, we can upload them tomorrow, but we would like to upload them on YouTube with accurate captions. So that's why it's taking a little bit more time for us. Yes, hopefully they will be available soon, even though we cannot give you a certain date. I would like to say as soon as possible.
And ask for your patience, because we are tired, all of us who've organized it, and maybe a few days of downtime would be lovely. But we will. And then Kevin, we would send out a communication to everyone once we have them all up. So you'll get an email as participants or presenter that they're up.
Everyone who's on the registration list, which currently is around 870 people, whoop, whoop, we'll get a note, but we may also put out a note to see if people want to help. So last year we got volunteers to help check the captions. And when I just brought it up as a side comment at the end of the networking session, a couple of people said, yeah, I'll do my own at least. So we'll see where we go. But yeah, our goal is to try to get it up in the next couple of weeks if we can. But as Inger said, there's a small group and a lot of there. I think we have somewhere around 75 videos to edit.
Some of the partners and spouses are hoping for their partners and spouses back.
So should we take a picture? And end the session and start our weekends? Ready?
I really enjoy Elle's picture. I've been looking at it for 3 days.
Thank
She
you.
mentioned that
Mm.
they use it to remind the students to put themselves on mute. I think that's what Elle said. But Elle, you can correct me if I got it wrong. Oh, and Elle said, I'm going to do my own captions anyway, so feel free not to do double work.
There
Oh,
you go. Yay.
bless you.
All right, are you going to turn the recording off, boss?
Yes, let's wave hands.
Thank you, everybody.
everyone.